My name is Daniel Gonzalez, and I'm a former patient of Dr. Joseph Nicolosi, who is one of the authors of this paper, Clients' Perceptions of How Reorientation Therapy and Self-Help Can Promote Changes in Sexual Orientation. Nicolosi authored this paper along with Dean Bryd and Richard Potts. In this paper, Nicolosi sets out to show what therapeutic techniques former patients of XK programs find most effective. What I took away from reading Nicolosi's paper is how across the board, former patients have absorbed and accepted the XK movement's distortions of human sexuality. Starting on page 8, the paper quotes patient after patient who regurgitate the XK movement's talking points about homosexuality being supposedly caused by an overbearing mother and distant father, or being molested or not fitting in with the other boys. It would almost be laughable if there weren't actual people behind these comments who truly believed and had been told by XK therapists that these things had caused their sexuality. XK therapy is not about looking at your true feelings and your true self. It's about trying to fit yourself and your life into someone else's mold, about being told by your therapist how your life should operate, and then going along with it, hoping it'll make you straight. In my first session of therapy with Dr. Nicolosi, he repeatedly pressed myself and my father, who was there with me, asking us if I had been molested as a child, which I hadn't. In fact, much of that first session was focused on digging around for the supposed cause of my homosexuality. This part of XK therapy is like throwing spaghetti at a wall. The therapist throws out a bunch of antiquated gender stereotypes and something's going to stick. Especially when a patient desperately wants not to be gay and is looking for an excuse or a cause for their sexuality. That desperate desire not to be gay is what makes people think XK therapy works. I wanted to change so badly I was willing to accept almost anything Dr. Nicolosi told me for the hope that it would work. And for a long time I believed I was changing and had changed. If I'd been handed a survey a few months after I finished therapy, I would have given glowing quotes like those in Nicolosi's paper. But like so many people who go through XK therapy months, years, and in some cases decades later, one comes to the realization change never occurred. Had Nicolosi's 1996 surveys used in the report not been anonymous, it would be interesting to follow up with respondents and see who still believed that they had changed. Many people who go through XK programs have testified to change, only later to realize none had occurred. This includes the two founders of Exodus, Michael Bussey and Gary Cooper. Despite the indications XK programs do more harm than good, and the emerging movement of XK survivors, this report testifies to Nicolosi's unwillingness to focus on anything but his own echo chamber. An echo chamber of patients who are willing to absorb most everything handed down to them, and then regurgitate these ideas back up on Nicolosi's survey. This paper demonstrates just how much XK programs cause people to distort their own lives, distort their own families, and distort their own sexuality.